Hello everyone. Hello and thank you so much for clicking on the video. So if you are from my Instagram, I want to say thank you so much for trusting me and wanting to come and listen to my consciousness, I guess is the best way that I can put it. So this video has not been planned. I have not written a script down or anything. I am going to speak from my heart because I believe that I want to be 100% transparent and vulnerable with all of you here, because I believe that vulnerability is the essence of connection. So a little bit about myself. First of all, as you can see by the title, I went through 20 years of narcissistic abuse at the hands of, I would call her an ex-mother, because she doesn't deserve the title mother for what she put me through for the past 20 years. And she's probably going to watch this video. She's probably here now scheming at what she could do to pull me down, but woman, you don't have that power over me anymore. Sorry. So yeah, I hope you heal, and I hope you find a path for yourself and become conscious of the things that you've done to me and to everyone around us. You know, there's a reason why I believe that the whole family would never sort of like listen to her or care for her, because of the patterns of behaviors that she had. And I'm not going to talk about in detail about what I went through, because honestly, I feel like as much as it's part of who I am, it's in my past. And I don't want to hold on to any of my stories anymore, because I believe that it's just limiting me. And I don't want to wake up at 70 years old and still say that, oh, I was a narcissistic abuse survivor 20 for 20 years, 50 years ago. Like, I'm not going to talk about that. But my intention with this video is to simply give hope, because I believe that narcissistic abuse and murder are pretty much on the same spectrum. I got murdered from within. I was walking around the planet doing my stuff. I was not alive. I thought I was alive, but deep down there was all of these pent up anger that I had towards this woman, and I'm going to refer to her as this woman because that's just what she is. It's just a woman who, it was just so damn shitty, honestly. And so I just want you to know that if you're going through something like this, if you're sort of a narcissistic survivor, or an abuse survivor, or if you are going through any kind of abuse in this moment, and I want you to know that there's always hope, as long as you choose hope. Okay? So I found out she was a narcissist in a very interesting manner, because she would always say that her mom is a narcissist. She would always use that term a lot, and I was a little bit skeptical, and I believed her, obviously, because, you know, mother and shit like that, all those excuses about, oh, she's my mom and one day she might change. She won't. Let me tell you that narcissists are never going to change. Okay, so I found out about it through her, interestingly, and I think one specific moment that really gave me a wake-up call was when I watched a YouTube video. I was following a bunch of YouTubers when I was at the age of 18, 19. I would say when I was in my teens, I started to watch YouTube a lot, and I was following a few YouTubers, and they came out and talked about how one of their friends, a YouTuber, was actually apparently an abuser and a narcissist. So I was watching the video, and I remember in that moment thinking to myself, wait a minute, this seems familiar. Like, and I think it really took me by surprise in that moment, because I was like, wait, what? This is exactly what I'm going through. So that basically means that this person is a narcissist. And I think I was like, oh my God, yeah. And allegedly, I heard from some members of the family that apparently she was diagnosed at one point with some mental disorders, but she never took the medication, or that she flushed it down. I don't know if it's true. Okay, all of these are allegedly spoken by people. But yeah, that was the part of it. So who exactly is a narcissist? A narcissist, from what I've experienced with her, all of this again is my own personal take. So a narcissist is essentially someone who has very low self-esteem and lack of empathy, and they project what they want onto you because you are an extension of them. And so basically every single thing that they do or show you, whether it's termed as love. It's all of those are conditional, because it's a transactional kind of relationship, in the sense that one person benefits more than the other. Obviously, I'm constantly the giver, and the person, she's constantly the receiver. She never gives back. The only time she gives if she wants something from me. So obviously it's a giver-taker relationship, and it's so imbalanced. There's no empathy whatsoever. There's constant gaslighting. There's constant abuse, constant victim blaming, victim shifting. They very good master manipulators. They love smear campaigns. So if I, for example, I do shit with this person, they're gonna go around the whole family and say that, she's such a, she did this, ungrateful daughter, and all of that. So you can basically go and Google about this online if you're interested. And I would recommend Dr. Ramani on YouTube. She really goes into depth about narcissists in a very amazing way. And I also want to say that every single thing that I've Googled online, a narcissistic mom has said to a daughter, I've heard those terms every single day of my whole life. So my life was very volatile, I would say. Whenever I would go back home, it's constant shouting, constant abuse. I'd get my hair pulled, she would slap me, and just all of that. And it was all done in the point of love. And I think one specific experience, and one specific, I would use the word moments, because this kept happening over and over again. And there was this one moment where I talked about this on my Instagram the other day on a reel. And my Instagram is privated, so I only allow people that I know into it. So if I get a hunch that I don't know you, I'm not gonna let you follow me. I'm sorry, okay? That's just me. But yeah, again, you have to pass my radar first if I'm gonna let you into my safe space. Anyway, so yeah, there's that. And I think for me, one moment that specifically stood out when it came to all of the 20 years of moments I've had with her is she would have this constant pattern of, I want you to not be in your emotions, or emotions are weak. She even made me believe that I don't know if you believe in astrology, but astrology, there's this thing called the big threes. And she made me believe that I'm an Aquarius sun, an Aquarius rising, and an Aquarius moon. But I'm not. I'm actually an Aquarius sun, Pisces moon, and a Cancer rising. I have a lot of water in me. Pisces and Cancers are water signs. Aquarius is an air sign. So I'm essentially known to be a sensitive Aquarius. And this woman had the audacity to desensitize me to my own emotions, which is, again, denying me of who I really am. And so she would come into my room and I would be studying, and she would just pinch me all over my body, and I'd start crying, and I'd say, why are you doing this to me? And she'd say, oh, I'm trying to desensitize you. And I'm like, what? So the only time she would stop it is if I stopped crying. Okay? Keep that in mind. And then there were other moments where I would be vulnerable and I would be crying to myself, and I would actually ask her, like, that's my little kid being like, can you please give me love? I want to receive for once. And she wouldn't do it. She'd lock me up in the room, she'd shut the door. And the worst thing that she could have possibly done, I think, is, number one, she called me a prostitute. And there was another moment as I was a 3-year-old kid where she made me eat my own vomit, and I was sick, for God's sake. I was sick. I was having all of that. And these are all moments that I remember up to this day. So she can sit down here in the comments. She's probably gonna do that. I don't give a shit if she does it anyway, if she's even watching this video, because, woman, I don't give a shit about you, okay? I'm sorry. So I'm not sorry, in fact. This is very dangerous, because I remember saying in the beginning of this video that narcissistic abuse is very close to murder. It's very similar, it's synonymous with it, because she murdered me from within. I was walking around dead, not knowing who I am. And when I use the word projection, is like, whatever I end up doing in my life is what she wants me to do. It's not something that I want to do for myself. So it's basically from the color of the underwear I wear, and I'm not even kidding when I say this, from the color of the underwear I wear, from the color of the bra that I wear, everything she had to say yes to. If she didn't say yes, it was not going to happen. And so I became very hyper vigilant. I was very indecisive. I was very scared of going against people. I was constantly giving. And this is something that I just realized recently, about how I have a belief in me that I have to constantly give to people because I deep down feel like I'm unworthy of receiving from people, and that's just, it's limiting me. It's sad. As much as I feel sad about it, I know that now, because I'm now conscious of this, I can do something about it. Which, again, I can go on and on about what she put me through, but these are like the few things. Police were involved. She made a whole big deal out of some stuff, you know, trying to paint a picture of this person being a bad person to the police and all that. She got fired, so just saying. Anyway, now this brings me to the next portion of this video, where I'm going to talk about the consciousness that I've gained because of what I went through. So one of the ways that I used to cope is I would study. So that's why I'm a very smart student, I believe, and I took medicine as well. I didn't want to actually take medicine in the beginning, because I felt like I wanted to start working early. But I'm really glad that I did at the end of the day, because it has provided me with so much of beautiful experiences that I have right now, and beautiful people that I have right now. So the consciousness that I've gained, or the consciousness level that is now with me because of what I went through, I think I coped in a way that I knew was best for me in that moment, I believe. So yes, there were moments when I wanted to off myself. There were moments where I felt like I was very, I just fed up with everything. And then medical school wasn't necessarily a easy ride too. I met a lot of people in medical school who I believe were also equally volatile and abusive. But I know that these people, I'm not saying that what they said was what they have done is okay, because of the fact that I understand where they're coming from. It's not okay for you to be like that. You're gonna be a damn doctor and you're behaving like some lunatic running around. Ugh, don't even get me started on that. So so yeah, essentially the consciousness that I have right now within myself is a consciousness level that I would attribute to what I went through as well. And as crazy as it sounds, I am in a way grateful for that, because the work that I do right now, which is I help out Larry Gilman. He is a success resource coach, a very, very talented man. So humble, so down to earth. I met him in March of 2024, and ever since then I went to one of his events. I graduated, and I'm still going back to crew most of the time, and I'm really happy being there with the people there. So they're like my soul family. So essentially I had to leave behind people in order for me to find myself, literally to find myself. I believe in that 100%. And I went for therapy. I did try therapy, but the therapist was like, she's your mom, you should go back to her, you should forgive her one day. I'm like, woman, what the hell? Like, you're asking me to go back to a volatile household and get beaten up and get abused every single day and get gaslighted and manipulated for my own benefit. Why are you doing this? What type of therapist are you? And Larry is not a licensed therapist, but that man, when I said something, I remember saying something about how I left my family and stuff, and he just said to me, yeah, sometimes you have to do it in order to find yourself. And I remember in that moment thinking, wow, for once someone is actually hearing me. And that is the thing about me, is that I always want to feel heard, in the sense that I want to receive. That's my core. That's who I am. I like to give, but then at the same time, I also want to receive from you. I'm not going to sit here and constantly give and you constantly take, and it's just an imbalance of energies. So I think through what I went through, I've learned to, again, hope is the big thing. Like, I would stand in front of the mirror as a young kid. And the earliest experience I think I had was when I was 10 or 12 years old. I would stand in front of the mirror and I'd be like, it's going to be okay, Sean, maybe you're going to be fine. I could be crying through it, and she would be, still gaslighting me outside the room. Yeah, cry some more, cry some more. Like, something like that. And she always would reiterate the same thing to me over and over again about how emotions are weak, and about how emotions make you vulnerable, and that I have to put up this facade that I'm okay at all times when I'm not okay. So I was pretty much of a loner not in medical school, but in my, I never had like childhood friends. I think the only close friend I have right now is from medical school, and I've known her for 7 years. I'm so grateful for her. She's so amazing. And it was not the girl in this picture. Anyway, so yeah, I am essentially very grateful for that as well. So I know for a fact that whatever that I've went through provides me with the depth to be able to connect to people, which essentially makes it very natural for me to see people as they are, intuitively speaking, because whatever that I've manifested right now is because of my intuition. It's because I follow what my heart tells me to do. And especially after meeting Larry and crewing for leaderships and Moset's Mastery of Self-Expression, summarizes Mose. It's all experiential workshops. It's just so safe to be there. And I know some people might think, oh, this is probably a cult. It's not a cult. Essentially, the basis of the workshop is we all come together to help out, and then we just leave. There's no worshiping people. There's no strings attached, basically. You don't have to do a certain thing or whatever. It's a safe place for us all to have fun. Like, for me to have fun, honestly. I feel so safe there. You know, I do all kinds of shit. So, yeah, I think for me personally, the depth of the spiritual wisdom that I have, and Larry even said this to me. He said, I can learn so much from you, Shamu. Like, you're so spiritually, like, wow, you know. And that wisdom comes from what I went through, because I contemplate. I'm a sensitive Aquarius by nature, and even though I think she tried her level best to desensitize me, I never got desensitized, because I can never be desensitized. It's me. It's always gonna be a part of me. It's just, maybe it might lay dormant for some time, like it did for 20 years when I was under her arms, her wing. But when I stopped, it just came alive again, and I was getting back into that part of me, that very part of me that I felt like that I was that I was unworthy of. You know, that part of me that I was denying for a very long time. And the fact that I am sensitive, I do cry at things, I get angry easily, I feel very deeply, you know, all of that. And so that provides me with the foundation of being able to do what I do at my best right now, which is, again, see people for who they are, see people for not the mechanisms or not the layers that they put up of who they project to be, but who they really are. And I'm able to see that. And part of it is because I myself naturally am that way. I started seeing myself for who I am. My little kid, for the first time, after one of the segments in the Mose event, I came back after one of the segments. I won't say which one it is. I came back after one of the segments, and I remember my little kid, for the first time, she connected to me. It wasn't the other way around. I always had to be the one connecting to her, but for the first time, she was like, hi. And I was like, whoa. You know, I felt a sense of safety I've never felt in 20 years of my life. And I always say this, like, I felt so much of love in 2024 than I've ever felt in my 24 years of being on earth. And I think that is a very deep, profound thing for me personally, as a person, as a human. And I think, you know, I also believe that my name translates into peace in Tibetan, Sri Lankan language. I'm not Sri Lankan, by the way. I'm a liberal. I identify as a free spirit. So yeah, I have found Shamodaya. Basically, I found peace, and I'm really happy. So and it's really helped me in the sense that I'm able to regulate my emotions at this point, in the sense that I see where my limiting beliefs are coming from, what is serving me, what is not serving me. And I dare to do a lot of stuff. I dare to do things that I've never done as a kid, you know, traveling and modeling and all that. And I'm just, yeah, exploring that side of me that I laid dormant for 20 years. I think that is like the main thing, which brings me to, I also got an award for this. So I am now known as a Leaders of Character Award, or you can call me Lady Shamo, I guess. So I got this award from my university, and I think this is something that I wanted. And I stopped, you know how I said I used to always be a smart student? I stopped doing that, because that wasn't something deep down, I didn't want to be a smart student. I was only studying because that was how I coped with my problems. And I know that sounds crazy, because most of the abuse stories that I see online myself, the people just don't study. But for me, studying was like where I could just, you know, sit and just hours and hours, I could just go on and on and on and on. And I graduated happily. You know, I stopped putting emphasis on the things that people wanted me to do, but rather what I wanted to do as a kid. And I think that's part of me honoring my life purpose in myself. And so now I'm an owner of multiple businesses, and I'm earning, you know, I made my first 5 figures in 3 months after leaving medical school. I mean, like, wow, you know, the turnaround is insane. So I think it's more so of me honoring my little kid within me, and also my adult Shamu, which is alive right now. Both of us are coexisting together. And that's what I believe in. And the moment I got in touch with my younger kid, or rather, the moment she got in touch with me, was when I think my life just took a 180 turn. I just never looked back. And of course, whatever she put me through, there are going to be moments where I will realize that, oh my God, like, this is a belief from her. Like, this came from what I experienced with her. And, you know, I could have emotions about it, feel about it. It's okay. But then at the same time, I'm like, am I going to let this belief right now still hold me back? Or am I going to completely demolish it and come up with a new belief for myself and move forward? So I think that's essentially the process of really going deep within, or you can call it shadow work if you want, but it's really that. You know, the limiting beliefs that I have surrounding love, surrounding friendship, surrounding colleagues and everything. There are times I would say I am a bit hyper vigilant, yes, but then I calm myself and I'm like, okay, what is actually happening with me? What's my heart telling me in this situation? What do I want to do? My heart. I follow what my heart wants, not what my head wants me to do 100% of the time. Which now brings me to what I have created, and this is a Manifest Your Visions, a passion project by me, and I call it Your Passion Project. It's called YPP because, again, this project is mainly focused on helping people discover their way of manifestation and doing it your way. So there's no template provided here. I just guide you. Because Larry said to me, and he has a really good way of saying things very simply in just one sentence, and it just triggered a whole like level of stuff in my own consciousness. He said to me how I'm a great demonstration of being very clear and very conscious, and that's my game. Like I said, like from what I've been through, all of these experiences for 20 years, the depth that I have within me never left me. It's always been there. And the moment I turned back and I acknowledged what I went through, and I decided, you know what? I am going to be in touch with my emotions, and I'm deep. And that is what enables me, I think, to connect to people and to be conscious with people, because I'm taking life, I believe, moment to moment rather than focusing on what's going to happen in the future. And in hindsight, this project might seem, well, it's talking about vision, so obviously it's a future. It's not necessarily a future thing. In this moment, I can have a vision about what's going to happen in the future, but I'm still savoring that moment by honoring that vision. Makes sense? So this project is an online project, and everything is done online. So basically, I will help you get clear of what it is that you want and get you very specific of what it is that you want. Because I believe that vision boards don't work for people because they're not specific. They very vague, kind of like, this is what I want. The universe is like, what are you talking about? I don't understand you. And then after that, it's about getting conscious of the beliefs that are holding you back from manifesting that very life. So I'll guide you through it, through that. And the final part is creating, which is, again, creating your way, seeing what works for you. For me, I think it's not just a vision board that can help manifest, and I will go through that with you as well. You'll get to discover for yourself what it is that what ways can you create in. And again, I'm just there as a guide, and I will not provide you any templates, but I know for a fact that people who sign up for this, I have clients, I do, and those clients that sign up, they believe in themselves. And if you believe in yourself, you will naturally believe in me, because we are all one. I believe in that. If you believe in yourself, you will believe in me. And same thing, if I believed in myself, that means I believe in you. So yeah, there's all there is to it. So thank you so much for watching this video. 24 minutes pretty long. If you have any questions, do comment down in this comment section below. And if you notice someone going volatile and speaking stuff in the comments, just ignore it. It probably could be her. I don't really give a damn about it. So this is who I am now, and I'm really happy. And if you came from my other business accounts, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys a lot. And let's connect. Let's have fun. So you can follow me on my IG if you want, at Shamo_Daya, and I will see you guys in another future video. So bye bye, and much love and blessings.